Hi guys, welcome to the Wolfman Chronicles channel. My name is Louis Strauss, I'm your host and I want to welcome you. If this is your first time joining us and you just, scrolling around and you want to see what this is all about, well, you are most certainly welcome on my channel. If you like the data and the content, hit the like and subscribe button and be informed, and enjoy this journey with us. On my channel, you will find I talk a lot about really strange phenomena, really strange, crazy stuff like werewolves, dogmen, Bigfoots, extraterrestrials, demons, the end of the world. Go and check my video. Timeline for the coming apocalypse. That is a super important video, and then I've got some many cool ones coming up, and then there's a few COVID ones in between, but only on this channel on BitChute. I've had some videos before on YouTube, but the Luciferians there didn't like it, so anyway they took my channel off and I had to restart it up. And now I'm only putting soft content on there, but BitChute, this one here, this is the place where you want to be. Anyway, I have a super cool experience that I would like to share with you guys. One that I had over 16 years ago, back in my home country, South Africa, 2005. So this was in Zululand, also known as KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, in a small town, Richards Bay. Now, just to give you a little bit of a background, Richards Bay is a beautiful, beautiful place. I remember when I was way younger, we had Brad Pitt coming there for a weekend, and later at some stage we had Arnold Schwarzenegger go down there. So yeah, a lot of celebrities, and I know there's a lot of Americans that also decided to permanently go and live in Richards Bay because it's just a beautiful place. Okay, but obviously it's not so good anymore because of the crime and all that stuff. But yeah, so back in 2005, I was working for a company called KGB Securities. And I was a armed reaction officer, so which means it's very much like a patrol officer. It's just we were armed. We respond to alarms, activations, and also we respond to threats and panic situations. Car thefts and house breakings and robberies, etc., etc. Now there were some other companies there also at the same time. One of the main ones was ADT Security. And a lot of the staff that worked for ADT Security, I've known them because I worked with some of them in the early 2000s with a company called CHUP, CHUP Security. And then obviously, ADT came in and bought CHUP out. But to cut things short, I started this thing with McDonald's in Richards Bay. I would go and park off there midnight, just before they close up. It's a safe place to park. It's right across BP fueling station. There's a lot of lights. And also, the staff really liked it when I parked there. So they would come out and say thank you, And then it turned into some sort of, a meme, a kind of an ongoing thing that they would actually come out and give me a big McDonald's burger and fries and, like a Coca-Cola. That was really cool. And so I invited some of the other security companies to do the same, especially from, ADT Security, because I had a lot of friends there. And so it's really a cool thing. We would turn up. Sometimes there would be 2 or 3 of us or 4 of us, in vehicles parked at McDonald's. They'll do the lockup, and they're just really, really happy to have us there, and they don't mind. They really don't mind serving all of us, hamburgers and fries and drinks. That was really nice. But anyway, one night I turned up at McDonald's. It was before midnight, and there was an ADT Ute security vehicle parked there. And it was my friend Donald. And I've known Donald for many, many years, even way back with Chubb. A really cool guy. And Donald is a Zulu, he's he's an African Zulu guy. He's a really cool guy. And he's been in security also a long, long, long time. And back then he was at least 5 or 6 years older than me. But anyway, so I pulled up, I got out of the vehicle, Donald got out of his vehicle, and we had a chat, just, getting some catch-up time. How's the night going? You guys been busy? The normal things we would talk about. And then Donald said to me, Louis, can I ask you a question? And I could see that there was something kind of bothering him. You can pick it up with someone's facial expression or the character, And I say, yeah, fire away, go ahead. What can I help you with? And Donald said to me, Louis, do you believe in werewolves? And when Donald asked me that question, I really wanted to burst out laughing, because it's very strange that an African guy knows anything about werewolves. They're not really into Western movies and stuff like that, especially Donald, and with his culture and stuff. So I was really, really thrown off. I was really surprised when Donald asked me that question, do I believe in werewolves? So I said, well, I've seen some movies, but I don't know if I believe in them. Why? What's up? And then Donald explained to me that the previous night he was doing a patrol in the dark on a gravel road behind a police station opposite McDonald's, okay? And he was saying that he saw this creature crossing the road, and he is convinced that this thing was a werewolf. So I said to him, well, explain to me, Donald, what does this thing look like, He said, oh, Louis, it was a big inja. Now, inja in Zulu means dog, okay? Inja means dog in Zulu. And I speak Zulu. That is my second language. So for those who don't know, English is my third language. Of Afrikaans, Zulu, and then English. But anyway, I said, oh, okay, Makulu inja, big dog. Explain to me this big dog. And Donald said, well, it kind of looks like a hyena, but massive, way like 3 times bigger, okay? This thing is like almost like a horse. And he said this thing, it had a big bulk body, like meaning a lot of muscle, huge canines, obviously. He explained that this thing was kind of like a dark brown color, pointy ears, and a lot of fluff on the back of the neck. Very much, like a kind of like a cross of a hyena or a lion or something. And then he said the strange thing is this thing's tail is like the tail of a lion. It's very smooth, and then at the end it's got this big fluff, And then also he explained that this thing had shiny eyes and a really big jaw, a really big, kind of big head, I said, wow, that is That's crazy. Okay, I've never heard of something like that. And anyway, I said to him, well, if you see this thing again, and I'm on shift, I'm working, you've got my phone number, give me a call and, I'll come out and we can have a look. And he said, oh no, Louis, this thing was fast. As soon as I saw it, it was gone. This thing is really fast. And he also explained to me that this thing wasn't scared of him. Okay, he got a feeling that this thing was really, really dominant. This thing was really kind of like a predator, And I'm like, okay. So after I've seen Donald and he told me that story, it was about 3 or 4 nights later. I'd say 2:30, between 2:30 and maybe 3:30 a.m. in the morning, I decided that I'm going to do a patrol at the same place where Donald was, behind the police station on the gravel road. There's a tar road now. I've looked at Google Earth. They've changed it, and there's a lot of houses now. But back then, 2005, there was just a gravel road behind the police station and a huge open forest, huge open field. There were no homes built, it was just an open field and a long, very long gravel road. But we'd like to patrol that road because a lot of criminals, copper thieves, would go and dig trenches along the side of this gravel road, and then they would cut the copper from the telephone poles, and they would try and steal that and sell that. And that is why we patrol that road. So like I said, one morning between 2:30 a.m. and about 3:30 a.m. I was patrolling that same road with my lights off, and I'm driving really slowly at about maybe 5 k's, 5 kilometers an hour, really slow. I'm way ahead in the dark. Remember, there's no lights. There's only the little dim lights from the police station. And way ahead, I do see something going over the road. Like someone is on all fours. And immediately, in my mind, I thought they are copper thieves. I'm seeing a copper thief going across the road, and he's on all fours because he doesn't want to be seen, and so I took my firearm out. I had a Victor CP9 at that stage, and I took my firearm out and I put it in between my legs, and then the plan was to speed up, and as soon as I get close to this guy who is crossing the road, I'm going to throw my headlights on, then I'll grab my firearm and I'll be like, open the door and give him the ultimate surprise and tell him to hands up, lay down, all that stuff. I've done it before so many times, and it's super cool. It works all the time, the element of surprise. And so that's what I did. So I speed up from 5 k's an hour to at least, 100 k's an hour. I was like really flying towards this guy, crawling over the road on all fours. And remember, my lights is off. Okay, my lights is off. And when I got almost on top of him, like maybe I'd say 5 meters away, I slammed on my brakes. My vehicle actually skied on the gravel road, like, really skied. And my headlights is on, and before I could grab my gun and open the door and confront this person, I saw the most weirdest, craziest thing ever, and I mean ever, in my life. Here's this creature And from what I thought was a person on all fours going over the road, this was Donald's werewolf, basically, just casually walking slowly over the road. And the description that Donald gave me matches 100% with this thing. Big head, big canines, kind of shiny eyes, and huge, like I say, huge head, this puff of fluff of hair standing up straight at the back of his neck. This thing is built like a lion, man. This thing has got a lot of muscle. You can actually see some of the veins and stuff. And then the freakiest thing is, yes, the tail. The tail was also kind of like a lion's tail. And it was dark brown, shiny color, skin. Like a, kind of like a Rottweiler on steroids, but like 3 times bigger than a Rottweiler. This thing was huge. And I was like shocked, and this thing stopped. In the middle of the road, it stopped. And remember, I'm only 5 meters away from this thing with my headlights on it, okay? It stopped, it looked at me, it turned its head, it looked at me, and it kind of gave me like a growl, like a dog would go, it kind of gave me something like that. Clearly dominant, clearly being some sort of a predator, giving me the message that if I get out of the vehicle, I am dead. It's that simple, And then it slowly walked across the road. It just kept walking. And when it got to the little field part, I said, screw that. I can't believe what I saw. I have to chase this thing. And that's exactly what I did. I had a Nissan 1400 Ute. I put it in first gear and I chased this thing. And when I started to chase it, this thing started running. And it was an open field, way big open field, almost like a football field or a soccer field. The grass was tall, okay. And then way at the back, there was a tree line with a lot of forestry. And this thing was bailing. It was heading and running really fast towards this tree line. And I was chasing it with this, this Ute of mine. And as I'm chasing it, I am bouncing behind it because it's a rough terrain, okay. My gun bounced out from between my legs where it was. It landed on the floor somewhere. My papers were everywhere. But I was just focused on chasing this thing. I wanted to get another look. And when this thing hit the tree line and it disappeared into the thickness of the bush, I stopped. And then, only then, after I stopped, I realized this was not a very smart thing to do, because now I am in the bush, and if anything goes wrong, that thing is so big, it can easily turn around and attack me. And this little 1400 Nissan Ute that I've got, this thing can easily just, bite holes in it or just destroy this vehicle. So I quickly turned around and I head back to the gravel road, Absolutely an amazing experience. And then about a week or two later, I met up with my friend Donald from ADT Security. And I said to him, Donald, I got something to tell you. And he's like, oh yeah, what is it, Louis? And I said, Donald, I believe you. I saw your werewolf. I didn't just see your werewolf. I chased the damn thing. And it's huge. It's a beast, I'm telling you. I've never seen something like that. I don't even know if you can call it a werewolf, because I've only seen these things on Hollywood movies. And it didn't run on two legs, though. It was running on fours. It didn't run on two legs, okay? But I said, yeah, I saw this thing and I chased it behind the police station. We went into the open field and it just went and took cover in the tree line at the back there in the bush. And when I told Donald that, Donald, man, you could see his eyes. His eyes was going big, and he was kind of like in his face. You could see he was feeling relieved. He was feeling that, I believe, that he knew I believed him now. And he was like, oh, wow, Louis. He said, oh, that's so good. I thought when I saw this thing, I thought I was dreaming. I said, no, Donald, you were not dreaming, mate. I had to pick up my gun from the floor because I was so focused on chasing this thing to get another look that I totally forgot about my gun jumping out of my, in between my legs. I thought it was, some guy crawling over the road trying to steal copper. But anyway, that is the story about Donald's werewolf. A story I will certainly never, ever, ever in my life never forget. It feels like yesterday, to be honest. I can still see the image of this thing. It's something you will not forget anytime soon if you see it yourself. So yeah, that was in Richards Bay. And also just a side note, there's a lot of crocodiles in Richards Bay at the lake at the back. And now that I'm, many years later that I'm thinking about it, there's been a lot of stories about villagers going missing, especially children. And it's always in the local Zululand Observer newspaper. They always blame it on crocodiles. It's crocodiles taking the children. It's crocodiles taking tourists. But after seeing that thing, I'm kind of having second thoughts, So, yeah. My name is Louis Strauss, Wolfman Chronicles. If you like the content, like I say, subscribe. And I hope to see you again soon on this channel. Be good, be kind, be safe, look after yourself. And I hope you have a very nice day. All right? See you later. Bye-bye.